The Buddhas in winter remind you of the white fire snow that sharpens the mind and does something more, crystallizes the etheric body within the physical. This is the single great salutary effect of the season of winter in the North Country. As the snow precipitates out of the fire of higher octaves that is never seen, so the snow precipitates out of the etheric body, and the snowflake itself is a grid that bears fire and comes to rest in the mental, emotional, and physical bodies. Thus, singing in the sun and the snow is a wonderful alchemy for the synthesis of the four lower bodies, and it makes for the ruggedness of individuality by which the worlds are conquered. Our eye is on Washington and the office of the President of the United States. Our eye is upon all of those who surround that office and of those who aspire to wear its mantle. Once again, we call upon the pillars of our chelas to continue with the taking up of the mantle of one of the offices in government, to keep the flame. For I tell you, beloved ones, not all are keepers of the flame who yet maintain the citadel of power in the throat chakra of the nation. Now I tell you that this particular assault upon this throat chakra of the messenger comes from the bearing of the karma and the extreme darkness of international espionage surrounding the federal government and infiltrating it in all branches. We consider infiltrators to be anyone that bears the philosophy of the party line of the fallen angels. They may consider themselves patriots and lovers of America, but if they are furthering the cause of world tyranny and the plans of the arch deceivers, then even the best among them are counted among the spoilers, the infiltrators, and the watchers. Let us keep the flame for the voice of America, the voice of the Son of God, George Washington, the voice of the woman and her seed. Let America's voice be strong in the world. America as the spirit of Uncle Sam in all of you. Let the true message of this nation, so loved and so endowed by Lord Confucius and Lord Lanto, be heard throughout this world by many avenues. This is a fiat from my abode. I demand it of every part of the body of God. And I demand the voices of the night be silenced. I demand the espionage activities of the Soviet Union, Red China, and other enemy states in Washington be fully and finally disclosed in a national and international expose that will force the custodians of liberty to act, to strip of their power these fallen ones, to strip their embassies of their electronic equipment and all of their manipulations through the media and their probings of almost every walk of life in this country. I am Gautama Buddha, and I say to you, in this first hour of the new year, that not in 2,000 years, until this very moment of 1983, have the Ascended Masters been so close physically to their own. Every word we speak, every fiat we make, and every dictation will therefore have a further concrete and physical effect, especially when it becomes the worded call of your own hearts. I stress to you then that the agents of international communism, who have seated themselves with great pride and a certain absence of guardedness in the United Nations and other embassies of this country and the West, must also be exposed and bound physically by those who represent this government of this Ascended Master Nation. I say this as a mandate of the Lord of the world, which office I hold in the name of Sanat Kumara. And I say it as a dispensation from our Father Alpha. Therefore, in this vein, it becomes a call that will be answered according to the desire of your hearts. You were the ones who kept the flame of the vigil of the all-seeing eye of God's cyclopeia that resulted in the uncovering of the Watergate scandal and ultimately the resignation of Richard Nixon. Something that has not occurred in the history of the United States with such intensity or deliberateness. By these marathons you have given, many things have occurred on earth, some of which you know about, some of which you perhaps will not hear until the turning of worlds. Conditions in China have been affected by the marathons you hold. I hereby declare that any teaching center, study group, or circle of devotees anywhere may elect to hold a weekend marathon without prior notice or instruction from the messenger. These will mightily assist us in binding the oppressors, which is most important for the reinstituting of hope, belief in Almighty God and His laws in the very hearts of the people. It will assist mightily as these exposés are made, these judgments are made, for the belief in the teachings of the messenger being published through our magazine. Certain things that have taken place in the past several years, which you have also noted, have been open doors to a greater believability of karma, of the nature of extraterrestrials, of the fact of embodied fallen angels, of reincarnation, etc. Dearest ones of my heart, the gravest error any of you could make in the coming year is to lose your sense of self-importance, the importance of your God presence incarnate through your heart and through your call and through your service. Do not lose the perspective of yourself as a child of the cosmos, for whom that cosmos was created. Do not lose the perspective of the power of your heart call to my own or to beloved Alpha. Do not lose the perspective of the science of the spoken word in an hour when it counts everything and all for the victory. Do not lose your sense of self-importance in the getting out of this magazine and all of our publications and the conclusion of our work among the nations. For the moment you think you do not count, your call does not matter, and that you are of all people most insignificant, we will have lost a Buddha in matter. We will have lost a Buddha in winter, in spring, in summer and fall. We will have lost the open door to the octaves of earth. We will have lost our watch and a heart so precious. On pain of actually entertaining a twinge of joyous self-esteem, I should rather you so indulge than to indulge in the endless and most distasteful state of consciousness known as unworthiness. It is as distasteful as the odors of the cities themselves to the angels who wing their way across the earth. For the stench of unworthiness filling the aura of a chela causes greater sorrow in the hearts of angels than any other state of consciousness. Thus, beloved ones, to tell you again and again, as many times as there are saints in heaven, sands on the seashore, and stars in the sky, that you are most beloved, does not weary my soul. For I weary not to say, I love you, I love you, I love you. The correction of the Lord is a reproof like a sudden descent of miraculous flame that strips from you some little point that you thought was self-gain but was self-loss. Correction is over in a moment and frees you to be yourself and rise to new self-esteem. Trust that we will do our part as you do your own, that we know what the morrow will bring. Therefore, be almost carefree and let your heart sing in the joy of knowing that God cares for you and will guide you and your families in the perfect way. Now let us enjoy the stillness that yet surrounds the auras of the 9 Buddhas from out of nirvana as we await the delivery of the thought form for this year. A mighty angel of the Lord delivers to me a scroll. And upon it, performed in the magnificent artwork of a cosmic being, assisted by beloved Paul the Venetian, is the image as above, so below. Of a bird of happiness, a bird of paradise that is intensely blue. The breast of the bird, much like the breast of a robin, is a ruby and rose, and beyond the breast, translucent, one sees the skillful designing of a threefold flame. It is like the bluebird of happiness. It is like the robin in spring that brings hope of a new season and a new life. But it is an etheric bird that combines the qualities of both and more. For it sings the most beautiful song of heaven. This thought form of the bird is a representation of Alpha himself, as Alpha would come closer to Earth this year by releasing millions of these birds out of the etheric octave and into the physical. The threefold flame of the heart is the sign that the bird bears the message of Christ incarnate to every child of God. And the threefold flame is the point of Alpha's spirit coming to the earth to comfort the people. The bird is reminiscent of the doves that did not return after the flood, and of the rainbow of promise of a new day. The bird reminds one of the messengers of God of past ages, and of all the archetypal virtues that the birds bring, such as the eagle from Sirius. Last but not least, this bird with the image of the threefold flame behind the ruby breast is a sign to elemental life that the hour is indeed coming when, because the sons of God all give devotion to that flame, the elementals may also gain a point of the Trinity and earn their immortality. The bird brings remembrance of blessed Jesus and the sign of his coming, and of beloved Saint Francis and the cross that is formed in the air. The bird is a sign of hope that the souls of light may also fly and follow the currents to a place prepared. This bluebird with the rose and fiery ruby has the yellow beak and little feet, completing a threefold flame, and the eyes that see so much is the eye of the watchbird watching you. The eyes therefore change as they respond to the auras of the people. And as one meditates upon these eyes, one sees also and remembers that the eye of the Virgin of Guadalupe contains all inside a message in itself and a confirmation of her appearance to Juan Diego. Therefore, beloved, in the eye of the bird can be seen a mirror of nature, of heaven, of the soul, and even of the auras of the seed of the wicked. These birds throughout the world who will speak to the souls of God's people will warn, will comfort, will teach as a sign and a presence of their own Christ self and the Buddhas. It is Alpha's gift, and our Father does release now these birds from his heart. Millions fly through his cosmic heart and come, wise and almost as angels, thought forms of the mind of God. And what is so rare, beloved, is that Alpha in his own heart contains many millions of qualities. These two birds, none of these two birds is alike. Millions of birds, each carrying a virtue, not as cut out of the same mold or cookie cutter, as you would say of mechanization man, but each one uniquely embracing a portion of Alpha's flame. Thus, the thought form for the year 1983 is the single bird, as God is one, but in manifestation they are millions. Thus you may also understand, as the birds land on your shoulder, that you are also one and worthy and facets of the song of Alpha and Omega, and the lullaby that the Cosmic Mother sings. One bird and the many out of one, and the one out of many. And when in the round of cycles these birds return to the heart of Alpha, they shall approach in a mighty V. But when they enter his heart, it shall be one bird entering the heart of Alpha. For all shall return to the mystical body of the One, the thought form itself. And it is true of elemental life, if you can understand the nature of the group soul. So, my beloved, with great joy and with the Buddhas in our midst, we claim the earth free. We claim every nation, city, town, and home, every son of God, free. It is a new birth of freedom, and it takes place as an extension of the 5 secret rays of all Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, including yourselves, serving Earth's evolutions. Thus you will feel the freedom, the stripping action of the fallen ones, the light of cosmos, most intensely in the secret chamber of the heart and in the close fire rings of the central sun, which are duplicated in the 5 secret rays around your heart. Look then for the inner experience with the great white brotherhood in this year, as you go within to come out again for the building of the inner retreat. To this cause I commend your utmost care, and I salute you this year as the careful ones. May you become so, may you be so known. Careful ones, careful with my heart, Careful with mother's heart, careful with your own heart. For it is your life and the seat of your life in this octave. I salute you as the careful ones, full of care for your father and your mother, full of care for Lanello and his work of the ages to lay the foundation of the teaching. I commend you as the careful ones who have the mastery of the goddess of liberty on the line of the clock that is 7 under the hierarchy of Leo. Uncarefulness is ingratitude. Carefulness is gratefulness. Carefulness is appreciation for one another in the sense that one appreciates another's burden, another's sorrow, another's joy, another's pain, and cares enough to enter in and be one. That the soul be not alone that suffers, that the soul be not alone that rejoices. Careful ones, caring for one another as you have never expressed your care before. To the careful ones who fulfill all things according to the divine plan, I send love from Shambhala, from the Grand Teton, from the retreats of the Brotherhood, from everywhere upon earth where I have placed my electronic presence for the release of this message and other messages which are given at inner levels to the souls of the people. I seal you in a garland of light and a lei of purity, and I bow before each one as the potential Buddha and the potential Mother. I contact infinity at the infinitesimal level of the matrix of your heart. Behold, I see the Buddha before me. I see the Mother before me. I see you perfect. And I see you perfectly in the heart of Alpha. I am Gautama, your love. I should like to receive the letters to the karmic board and make an invocation for them. In the name I am that I am, Sanat Kumara, Lord Gautama, Buddha, Maitreya, Jesus, Kuthumi, El Moria, Saint Germain, and Lanello, beloved K17, Goddess of Liberty, and the Lords of Karma, we summon the angelic hosts of light to take now these letters written from our hearts to the great karmic board. Let them be translated and presented this night to the Lords of Karma who hold session in the Grand Teton Retreat, to act on the requests or dispensations of the children of the sun for and on behalf of Earth's evolutions and their own divine plan and service fulfilled. By the power of the Cosmic Virgin, we appeal to you, Mother Mary, to intercede for and on behalf of souls of God desiring more light, more intelligence, more know-how, strength, energy, and the abundant life to do the will of God. O Blessed Mother, Mother Mary, we greet you in the hour of the new year, and to you, our precious love, we say, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Mother Mary.
Happy New Year, Mother Mary.
Happy New Year, Lord Gautama Buddha.
Happy New Year, Lord Gautama Buddha.
Happy New Year, beloved keepers of the flame.
Happy New Year, Mother Mary.
We'll give these letters to those waiting to take them, to burn them. We look forward to being with you tomorrow, New Year's Day, for our release on Glastonbury, and so that you can see the presentation that was made at the inner retreat this summer and can have firsthand and updated information on Glastonbury and the inner retreat, new footage of aerial film as well as new slides, and satisfy yourselves to your cups brimming over of all the questions you would like to ask about what is happening at the ranch this year. We would like to begin the morning session at 10:30, and that is when the first film and presentation will start. It's about 2 hours. We'll break for lunch, return in the afternoon for Edward's current presentation on the events there. So we wish you again a Happy New Year and a good night. God bless you.